What you doing, readers? I'm the AC, and I'm going to talk about AR Dragonfly Volume 7 and 8 by Joshua Piedra with character art by Alex Garcia. I've been wanting to talk about these for a while, but I want to include Volume 9 in with these. It was taking, shipping a little while, get to Hawaii, blah, 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 all that stuff. We know what's going on in the world. Then I found out Volume 10 just came out right when I finished 9. I was like, I'll just do 9 and 10 together while I do 7 and 8 first. And it makes more sense because Volume 9 starts something new, but I'm not talking about that yet. Sticking to 7 and 8. So, in these two volumes, there's a lot of good, bad, worse drama that happens within the group. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the highlights and exactly what I mean, but overall, what's going on is there's this burden on Kaido of keeping Takumi's secret this whole time. We knew about the secret before and other volumes. We just don't know what that secret is. I assumed it was something with his health. Oh, we finally get that reveal eventually. So, let's talk about these highlights. If we remember where Volume 6 left off, Kaido and Amber was on a trip. Well, they're still on that trip in the beginning of 7. And now, they're starting to date. Yeah, the couple now, isn't that cute? And everything's going great at the beginning. They even go on a double date with Lin and Takumi. They go to a wrestling match, which is cool. One, it's cool how it's written. I watched wrestling a lot as a kid. Haven't really seen too much as an adult. Still seems really cool. Really respectable form of entertainment. The way Joshua writes this scene is so cool and kind of nostalgic of like the excitement of what a wrestling match actually was like. And it's really cool, and there's more that he does with something like this later. Now, besides this, they're also still needing to practice for this 2v2 tournament that's coming up. But yeah, all seems good for these four. Sebastian, on the other hand, things seems to be kind of going seemingly downhill. His guild in Shadow Wing is just gone out of nowhere for him. And things and stuff seems to not be doing as great as it used to be. So that's a little worry with him. And then he finds out the girl he likes is dating one of his friends. Feel that? Real deep? I understand that. And he seems to be having a little spiral of emotions going on with him. So he kind of stops playing Shadow Wing, and he moves on to another game, Sanctuary Rise of Heroes, and he wants to play with Amber. Have this whole new beginning. He's still wanting to try to get close to Amber. I guess he still thinks he has a shot, or at least some hopes. Still, I feel this. When they finally play together at her place, things get worse. He kind of just breaks down a little bit. It kind of freaks out on Amber and talking about pretty much just being jealous that Kaido is dating her instead of him and all these emotions. And yeah, it just goes bad blood between them. This leads to Kaido and Sebastian getting in a fight. Yeah. And I thought, wow, you can see some drama, some hurt feeling. A physical altercation, weird way for me to say that, was not expected. And I thought this would have more drama that kept going. Apparently just a good old beating on each other was enough to settle it. Yeah, there's still some awkwardness, I guess, but that was pretty much it. I thought the drama would last longer throughout the book. It did not really. From here on, it shifts more to Takumi, because at the wrestling match he fell again. So we see that it affects more of his health. But before I move on to getting all more serious in tone with this, let's talk about Jessie. Jessie, I don't know to adore her or just to protect her from the world. She reminds me, I don't know if anybody else remembers this, from How I Met Your Mother, Honey, Zoe's sister, And they're just like, oh, honey. Every time Jessie speaks, I'm just like, oh, honey. Ah, she's just so dumb. And I want it to be like a facade. I want this to be like maybe something she does just to make think people will like her more. She seems kind of more dumb and innocent. No, she's just really dumb for now. Maybe it is revealed later she's not really like this. But she's kind of the opposite of Sebastian if you think about it. But also kind of similar. Sebastian, he makes these comments that are kind of snarky, kind of like assholey comments, but they're also clever. Jessie, anytime she opens her mouth, it's something dumb, but it's so innocent. I don't know. I just don't know what to think of her. Like, I can't not like her. And then, but I don't like the whole dumb people trope. So, I don't like dumb people in real life. It's hard for me to like dumb characters too. But, I don't know, something about Jessie. And she tries to get Amber to help her teach her how to play Blazora. And she tries to hang out with the group a little bit. But mainly, she just works, hangs out at the store. I just want to talk about Jessie a little bit because I don't know how I feel about this. And because the rest of the book is going to get a little intense. So I want to bring that little ray of sunshine back into the light. So yes, like I mentioned, Takumi had another fall. So he had to go on another business trip with his parents, which is the hospital. He's going to be there for a while. It seems bad this time. This means the rest of the group, without Takumi, are going to have to drop out of the 2v2 tournament. And what this ultimately leads to is not so much what's going on with Takumi, even though you think it would. We really don't see much of him from this point on. It's more about Kaido. Kaido becomes kind of a recluse. He kind of stops going to work. He still tries to be there with Amber and whatnot, but having to keep Takumi's secret is eating away at him. And at first it kind of just seems ridiculous. I was like, they're making a big deal out of this. They've been keeping this going on for multiple books. It's like, I'm kind of over it, right? Because, you know, one of the main characters, it's like, he's going to get better. Why make such a big deal about it? Well, apparently a big deal is what needs to be made. Also, Kaido keeps going back and forth. I mean, like, oh, he seems better. Okay, he's going back to being bad. And he does this throughout both volumes. And I thought that was just like, he seems wishy-washy. It's kind of too real. Kind of too real. I was like, I wasn't okay with it because it was too real, I guess. It's like, you have your bad days, you have your good days. Sometimes you have your bad weeks and good weeks. It took me until after the wrapping up Volume 8 to realize, wow, I felt that with Kaido. So yeah, it's one of those times when reality doesn't seem as realistic as what you could make up. But yeah, this thing that's going on with Kaido, the psychological toll it's taking on him, yeah, it's some real stuff that's going on. And you can't hold it in too much. So he eventually thinks he tells a neutral party. He tells Sebastian Takumi's secret. I guess that's neutral. He knows Takumi, but not really well. Okay. He doesn't tell Amber, though. Or Lynn. Ever. And this makes some more tension between Kaido and Amber. And he lets it slip that he told Sebastian. Dumb move. But it seems like it'll be okay. Amber's trying to be understanding. And she's trying to play this girlfriend role so great. Amber is just being so great in this whole thing. Kaido is just kind of being a little shit about it. But, it's understandable. It is. So, Sebastian's trying to get the store going good again. He decides to have a little event to bring in, the top Blazora's players, Kaido, Amber, and Lynn. Also help Lynn sell some music. The store seems to be booming again. A lot of stuff happens. Everything seems to be going good again. Still not much worth from Takumi. Next chapter. Takumi dies. Damn. Like, just out of nowhere. There wasn't any like there was clues, stuff wasn't going great, but there wasn't like a big build up into the death. It was like, okay, he's in a hospital, things are happening, and then he wants to do a final 2v2 match with Kaido, and Takumi doesn't do well. Eventually, Kaido realizes what's going on. He rushes to the hospital, and Takumi is dead. Oh man, that one hit hard. And as soon as I got this, I realized, this was when I realized everything Kaido was going through, why it was such a big deal, why this secret was haunting him through multiple books. Man, I did not see that coming. I thought he was going to get better. Why? Yeah, so... Oh, man. So, Takumi was suffering through ALS through his whole life. He was supposed to die years ago. Apparently, moving to America, becoming friends, helped him live longer. But yeah, this is brutal, really. And Kaido finally calls Lin in. She sees what Takumi happened to him. Wow, I'm starting to get a little choked up. Hang on. And Lin sees Takumi has died. Kaido goes through this whole spiel about how Takumi was just lying to them. It's making Takumi and Kaido both seem like these kind of villains, like they weren't great people. How Kaido was just using Takumi to prove that he can care about someone. It's a weird little speech he gives. I don't know. I guess it's just grief, trying to blame yourself, trying to blame someone for what happened. And it was hard. Lin runs out, and then Kaido, he eventually makes this announcement to his parents he wants to move out. Mom doesn't agree. Dad says he needs space. I agree with letting him move out, but then when he was like, I'll support Kaido financially, I was like, I don't know about that. Like, he's an adult. Like, yeah, he's going through something rough. He still has his own money. I wouldn't support him. Yeah, that's getting off topic. Kaido completely cuts himself off from everyone. He destroys his cell phone from an 18-foot fall out his window, and then just stops going to work, doesn't say anything to Amber. Really, his parents can't even get in touch with him, even though they know where he lives now. But that's not it. Shit goes bad for everyone. Eventually, Amber goes on to check Kaido, gets a letter from his parents, gets back a pendant that Kaido gave her, and then a note saying that they're pretty much breaking up. Amber loses it. She becomes a mess. She tries to get in contact with Lin. Nothing. She never tries to get in touch with Sebastian, which maybe would have helped her, but then Amber, Kaido, neither one coming up to work. Sebastian's having to work all day, a little bit with Jesse. Eventually, Sebastian goes to check on Amber, realizes she's a mess, goes over to Kaido's apartment, gets the information from his dad. His dad goes to check on Kaido. Kaido is hiding out with his neighbor, who we get to meet is a new character named Rebecca Gallagher. She's kind of this, seems like what would be a weird chick, but she's kind of into the occult, kind of the mysterious stuff. She kind of takes a little liking to Kaido because of this mysterious thing he's dealing with. Eventually, Amber finds out about Takumi's death. Sebastian put it together himself, called the hospital. But yeah, Amber doesn't find out until she logs back on Blazorus eventually. I was waiting for that moment. She was the last one to find out. I was waiting for her to break down even more, for things to get even worse. No, she kind of, I wouldn't say perks up. She kind of just gets better. Like, what? She understands what's going on with Kaido now, but she kind of completely reverses, which seems a little off. she goes to Kaoru's dad. Kaoru's dad takes her to his apartment. Kaoru finally opens up to Amber. They're back together again, just like nothing almost. And then they decide to move in together. Then Rebecca helps them move back out. She meets Amber. She starts taking a liking to Amber too. And then they just goes on from there. Things seem to be getting better. A couple days to go back to work. Everything seems like it will work out. They decide to have a party in memory of Takumi. It seems like a happy ending. Still can't get in touch with Lynn. No contact. That's where Volume 8 ends. Yeah. Now, from Volume 8, we can kind of guess what's going on. We'll see more of Rebecca later, and then we'll have to see what goes on with Lynn. But like I said, Volume 9 starts another arc, the last arc, a few more volumes left. So it's going to be interesting how this wraps up. It's been a great, interesting story. There's less video game playing, or at least a focus on that, more on the characters, which is great. Loving what's happening. Anything that raised any doubts is eventually worked with. So I actually liked what happened, which is good. Stuff should make you doubt something and then actually, resolve. That's what tension and conflict is in stories. So, love what's happening with it. Whenever my 10th volume gets in, read that one too. Then I'll do one volume 9 and 10. But before I wrap this up, there was a couple other things in these because I love the extra stuff that goes into books in general, especially these. At the end of 7, there was another wrestling match he had between Amber and Ryan, and that was just cool. Another wrestling scene. Apparently that's where Amber originally came from, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then at the end of Volume 8, there was a manga. He put a little manga of the opening fight scene with Amber and Takumi, which also reminded me, they renamed the Holy Knight skill. Well, what did they name it? I forgot. Something about Vezirath, in honor of Takumi. Anyways, yeah, end of Volume 8 had a little manga thing in it. It made me realize how cool a light novel manga hybrid would be. It'll be super cool. And this would be a great series to do it with. Do all the drama and slice of life stuff in the text and words, and then do all the action video game playing stuff and manga. That would be such a cool hybrid. Now I really want to see something like that. But also just an entire AR Dragonfly manga would be pretty dope too. But yeah, that's where I'm leaving off with these 2 volumes. What do you think? I had a whole lot to say about these. I originally didn't think I would. I was like, this Takumi stuff is just dragging on. It kind of made me forget about all this other stuff happened. Then it paid off. Weird thing to say about something sad. And man, it was just great. But yeah, let me know what you think. And if you like what I have to say about these books, go ahead and like this video. You want to see me talk more about the things I'm reading and whatnot, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can see when I do all that. But until next time, I am the AC. Thank you for watching, and bye.